I used to believe love was simple. I believed if I gave someone enough care, enough patience, and enough loyalty, they would eventually understand my value. That was how I loved Olivia Bennett. For 5 years, I made her happiness my priority. If she had a bad day, I stayed awake listening to her problems. If she had an important dream, I stood behind her and pushed her forward. I never thought about what I wanted because I thought loving someone meant putting them first. Daniel never understood that. "Ethan, do you ever think about yourself?" Daniel asked one evening. I looked up from my phone. "What do you mean? You canceled your plans again." It was Olivia's presentation. She needed support. Dating aside, your entire life revolves around her. That's not true. Really? Daniel crossed his arms. "When was the last time you did something because you wanted to?" I stayed quiet. I knew the answer. I couldn't remember. Daniel sat beside me. "Ethan, you love her. I know that. But you're trying to win someone who already has you." I frowned. "She doesn't need to be one." "Then why are you always trying to prove yourself?" "I'm not." "Ethan." I looked away. Daniel's voice became softer. "You are scared she will leave." I hated hearing those words because they were true. I just don't want to lose her. Daniel shook his head. "Sometimes you lose yourself while trying not to lose someone else." I ignored his warning because I believed Daniel was wrong. Olivia loved me. At least, I wanted to believe she did. When I first met Olivia, everything felt perfect. She was confident, intelligent, and had a smile that could make any room brighter. Everyone admired her. My friends always told me I was lucky. "You found someone special," they would say. And I believed them. I believed I had found the person I would spend my life with. But slowly, things started changing. Little things. Things I tried to ignore. Like the night I waited 2 hours for dinner because Olivia forgot our plans. When she finally arrived, she looked tired. "I'm sorry, Ethan." I smiled. "It's okay. You waited this whole time?" "Of course." She looked at the table. "You didn't have to do that." "I wanted to." She sat down. "Work was stressful." "I understand." She picked up her phone. "Ryan actually helped me finish the project today." I looked at her. "Ryan?" "My co-worker." "Oh, the new guy?" "Yes. He's really talented." I forced a smile. "That's good. He has so many ideas. He thinks differently." I nodded. "That's great, Olivia." She looked at me. "Why do you sound upset?" "I'm not." "You are." I shook my head. "I just missed you." She sighed. "Ethan, don't make everything emotional." Those words hurt more than she realized. Because I wasn't trying to create a problem. I was just trying to tell her I missed the person who used to miss me too. Weeks passed, and Ryan's name appeared more often. Ryan said our company should expand internationally. Ryan helped me prepare for my meeting. Ryan knows a lot about business. Every time she mentioned him, I felt something uncomfortable inside me. But I always convinced myself I was being insecure. One night, I asked her about it. "Olivia, can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Do you and Ryan spend a lot of time together?" She looked annoyed. "Why are you asking?" "I'm just curious." "He's my friend, Ethan." "I know." "Then why does it matter?" I lower my voice. "Because I feel like I'm losing time with you." She looked away. "You're overthinking again." "I'm not trying to control you." "Then what are you trying to do?" "I just want us to feel close again." Olivia became silent. Then she said something I never forgot. "Maybe you need to stop needing me so much." I felt my chest tighten. "I don't need you. I love you." She looked at me. "Sometimes I can't tell the difference." That night, I stayed awake for hours. I kept thinking about what she said. Was I loving her too much? Or was she loving me too little? A few days later, I planned something special. Our 5th anniversary was coming. I saved money for weeks because I wanted everything to be perfect. I bought Olivia a necklace because she once told me she loved simple things that had meaning. I imagined her smile. I imagined her reaction. I imagined us remembering why we fell in love. I told Daniel about it. "You're still doing this?" I looked at him. "What? After everything?" "Daniel, she's been stressed. You always have an excuse for her." "Because I know her." "No, Ethan. You know the version of her you want to believe in." I didn't answer. Daniel looked disappointed. "I hope you're right." "I am." But deep down, I wasn't completely sure. On the night of our anniversary, I arrived at the restaurant early. I held a small gift box in my hand. I kept checking the entrance. 10 minutes passed. 30 minutes. An hour. I sent Olivia a message. "Are you close?" No reply. I waited. Another 20 minutes passed. Finally, my phone rang. It was Olivia. I answered immediately. Hey, where are you? Silence. Then she spoke. Ethan. My smile disappeared. What happened? I'm sorry. My heart sank. Why? I can't make it tonight. I looked around the empty table. What? Something important came up. Tonight? Yes. I tried to stay calm. Olivia, it's our anniversary. I know. Then why? She hesitated. I have a work event. I closed my eyes. A work event? Yes. Ryan and I are presenting a project tonight. I felt my fingers tighten around the gift box. Ryan, Ethan, please don't start. I'm not starting anything. You sound upset because I'm sitting here alone on our anniversary. I said I'm sorry. I waited for her to say something else. Anything. But she didn't. Can we celebrate another day? I looked at the necklace inside the box. Sure. Thank you for understanding. After the call ended, I stayed there. Alone. The restaurant slowly became quieter. People around me laughed, talked, and celebrated their own relationships. I just sat there holding a gift Olivia would never see. For years, I thought love meant chasing someone until they finally stopped running. But that night, for the first time, a painful thought entered my mind. Maybe Olivia wasn't running away from me. Maybe I was the only person still running toward her. I spent the next few weeks pretending everything was normal. That was the easiest thing to do. I smiled when Olivia came home late. I nodded when she talked about work. I acted like Ryan's name appearing in every conversation did not hurt me. But inside, I was slowly breaking. One evening, I finally decided I could not stay silent anymore. Olivia walked into the apartment while looking at her phone. Hey, Ethan. I looked at her. Can we talk? She placed her bag down. About what? About us. She sighed. Ethan, I'm tired. I know. Then why are we doing this right now? Because I feel like something has changed between us. She looked away. You always say that. Because I always feel it. Olivia crossed her arms. What exactly do you want me to say? I want you to be honest with me. I am honest. Are you? Her expression changed. What does that mean? I took a breath. It means I feel like Ryan is becoming more important than me. She immediately became defensive. Here we go again. I'm not accusing you. You are. No. I'm asking you if there is something happening. She looked frustrated. Ethan, Ryan is my co-worker. Then why do I feel like I'm losing you? Because you are insecure. Those words hurt. Not because she said them. Because part of me feared they were true. I'm insecure because I care about you. No. You're insecure because you need constant reassurance. I stared at her. I never asked you to give up your dreams. Then what do you want? I want to feel like I still matter. She stayed quiet. For a moment, I hoped she would come closer. I hoped she would tell me I was wrong. Instead, she said something that changed everything. Ethan, maybe you're just not the person I need anymore. The room felt silent. I looked at her. What did you say? She looked uncomfortable. I'm saying maybe we have changed. No, Ethan, no. You don't say something like that unless you already feel it. She looked down, and that silence gave me my answer. You already left, didn't you? She didn't respond. I felt my heart sink. Olivia, when did you stop loving me? Her eyes became emotional. I don't know. That answer hurt more than anger. Because anger meant she still cared. I spent 5 years loving you. I know. Do you? Yes. Do you know how many times I stayed awake helping you prepare for interviews? Yes. Do you know how many weekends I gave up because you needed support? Ethan, do you know how many times I told myself everything would be okay because I believed in you? She looked away. I appreciated those things. No, you got used to those things. She became quiet. I knew I was right. A few days later, I found out the truth. I did not discover it because Olivia confessed. I discovered it because I saw a message on her laptop. A message from Ryan. My hands went cold. I read the words again and again. There was no misunderstanding. There was no explanation. Ryan was not just her co-worker. He was the person she had been choosing over me. When Olivia came home, I was waiting. She immediately noticed something was wrong. What happened? I looked at her. How long? Her face changed. What? How long have you been seeing Ryan? She froze. Ethan, how long? She sat down. I didn't want you to find out this way. I laughed quietly. That's what you're worried about. Please listen. No. I want the truth. She looked down. A few months. A few months. Those words destroyed me. You let me sit beside you every day knowing this. I was confused. Confused. Yes. You were confused while I was planning our future. Ethan, it wasn't simple. It was simple for me. She looked at me. What does that mean? It means I loved you. She closed her eyes. I know. No, you don't. I felt tears building, but I refused to let them fall. I gave you everything. I never asked you to. That sentence broke something inside me. You're right. She looked surprised. What? You never asked me to. I nodded slowly. I chose to. The silence between us felt heavier than any argument. Ryan understands me, she said softly. I looked at her. What? He understands my ambition. He understands the life I want. I smiled sadly. So that's what I was missing. Ethan, I supported every dream you had. I know. I believed in you before anyone else did. I know. I stood beside you when things were difficult. I know. Then why wasn't that enough? She had no answer. That was the worst part. I wanted her to fight for me. I wanted her to tell me she made a mistake. Instead, she just sat there, and I finally understood. I was holding on to someone who had already let me go. I packed my things that night. Olivia watched me. You're leaving? I looked at her. Yes. I thought we would talk. We did. You're not going to fight? That question almost made me laugh. Fight for what? For us. I shook my head. I spent years fighting for us. Her eyes became emotional. Ethan, I'm tired. For the first time, I saw fear in her face. She expected me to beg. She expected me to promise I would change. But I didn't. I picked up my bag. I hope you find what you're looking for. She whispered. Do you hate me? I stopped. No. Then why does this feel like goodbye? Because it is. I left without asking her to stay. I left without asking for another chance. I left because I finally understood that love should not require me to lose my dignity. When I arrived at my mother Mia's house, she opened the door and immediately saw my face. Ethan, I tried to smile. I'm okay. She shook her head. No, you're not. I looked away. I messed up. She pulled me inside. Sit down. I sat quietly. After a moment, she asked, what happened? I told her everything. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she held my hand. Son, losing someone who does not value you is painful. I looked at her. But losing yourself, trying to keep them is worse. I lowered my head. I thought if I love her enough, she would choose me. My mother sighed. Love is not a competition where the person who sacrifices the most wins. Those words stayed with me. A few days later, I moved into my own apartment. The silence was difficult. There was no Olivia. No messages asking how my day was. No conversations before sleeping. For years, I thought being alone was my biggest fear. But slowly I realized something. I was not afraid of losing Olivia. I was afraid of discovering who I was without her. One night, my phone lit up. A message from Olivia. I miss you. I stared at the screen. Another message appeared. Can we talk? I looked at our old conversations. Thousands of messages. Thousands of memories. I held my phone for a long time. Then I deleted them, one by one. For the first time, I did not cry. I did not feel anger. I did not feel pain. I just felt quiet. And in that quiet moment, I realized something. Maybe losing Olivia was not the end of my life. Maybe it was the beginning of finding myself. For the first few weeks after leaving Olivia, I felt like I was living someone else's life. My apartment felt too quiet. My mornings felt empty. My phone no longer had her messages waiting for me. I kept opening our old conversations, even though I knew there was nothing left to find. One night, I stared at her name on my screen. My finger hovered over the call button. I wanted to hear her voice. I wanted to ask if she missed me. I wanted to know if leaving had hurt her the way it hurt me. But I stopped. I placed my phone down. No, I whispered. For the first time, I chose myself. The next morning, I received a call from Sophia Reed. Ethan, I smiled slightly. Sophia, you sound surprised. I am. It's been a long time. Yes, because you disappeared after you started dating Olivia. I looked down. I guess I did. Are you okay? I hesitated. I don't know. Sophia became quiet. That means you're not okay. I laughed softly. You always knew how to read me. Someone had to. You stopped reading yourself years ago. Her words reminded me of Daniel. What happened to you, Ethan? I lost Olivia. No. I frowned. What? You lost yourself. I stayed silent. Sophia continued. You were someone before you loved her, Ethan. Find that person again. I looked around my apartment. For years, everything I did connected back to Olivia. My goals, my plans, my choices. Maybe Sophia was right. Maybe I had forgotten who I was. I don't even know where to start. Start with something you loved before her. I thought for a moment. My business ideas. Then why did you stop? Life got busy. No, Ethan. You made her life your life. That sentence stayed with me. A few days later, I started writing again. Ideas I had abandoned came back. Dreams I buried slowly returned. I met Nathan Brooks through a small business meeting. He looked through my notes carefully. You created all of this. I nodded. Years ago. Then why didn't you do anything with it? I smiled sadly. I had other priorities. Nathan looked at me. Someone convinced you this wasn't important? Something like that. He closed the notebook. Ethan, this idea has potential. You really think so? Yes. I looked surprised. Why? Because you built something from experience. People can feel when something is real. For the first time in months, I felt proud of myself. Not because someone else approved, because I believed in myself. My days became different. I woke up early. I worked harder. I learned new skills. I stopped waiting for Olivia's name to appear on my phone. But moving on was not easy. Sometimes I still remembered her. A restaurant, a song, a random place we visited. The memories came without warning. But instead of chasing them, I let them pass. I told myself, that was my old life. Meanwhile, I heard from Daniel that Olivia was asking questions. She called me yesterday, Daniel said. I looked at him. Why? She wanted to know how you were. What did you say? I told her you were doing better. I nodded. What did she say? Daniel smiled slightly. She sounded surprised. Why? Because she thought you would come back. I looked away. She always knew I would. That's the problem. I stayed quiet. Daniel continued. She believed your love had no limits. Maybe I taught her that. He shook his head. No, she chose to believe it. A few weeks later, I heard more about Olivia and Ryan. At first, everyone thought they were perfect. But perfection never lasts when it is built on excitement instead of understanding. One evening, Olivia called me. I almost didn't answer, but I did. Hello. There was a pause. Ethan. Hi. You sound different. I smiled faintly. Do I? Yes. How? I don't know. I waited. Why did you call? She became quiet. I just wanted to talk. About what? About us. I looked out the window. There is no us anymore, Olivia. I know. Then why? Because I miss you. Those words would have destroyed me months ago. But now they only hurt a little. Olivia, I think you miss what I gave you. That's not true. Isn't it? She stayed silent. I miss you, Ethan. I closed my eyes. Do you miss me? Or do you miss knowing I was always there? She didn't answer. That silence told me enough. I should go. Ethan, wait. What? Are you really okay without me? I looked at my desk. At my plans. At everything I was building. Yes. She sounded surprised. You are? Yes. The call ended shortly after. For the first time, I didn't feel like I lost something. I felt like I gained something. Myself. A few days later, Nathan invited me to a business event. You need to present this idea yourself. I shook my head. I'm not ready. Yes, you are. I'm nervous. Good. I looked at him. Good. Yes. It means you care. I smiled. Olivia used to say I lacked confidence. Nathan looked at me. Do you believe that? I thought about it. No. Then stop carrying someone else's opinion of you. Those words gave me strength. The event arrived. I walked into the room wearing a suit I bought with my own money. Not because I wanted to impress anyone. Because I wanted to respect myself. I talked about my idea. I answered questions. I shook hands. For the first time in years, I felt like Ethan Carter again. Then I saw her. Olivia. Standing across the room. Our eyes met. She didn't move. Neither did I. I expected sadness. I expected anger. But all I felt was calm. She looked at me differently. Not like someone she could always return to. Not like someone waiting for her. She looked at me like she was meeting me for the first time. She walked closer. Ethan. I smiled politely. Olivia. She looked around. You're doing this? I nodded. Yes. I didn't know. I know. She looked at me for a long moment. You changed. I smiled. No. She looked confused. I found myself. For the first time, Olivia had nothing to say. And for the first time, I didn't need her to. After the business event, I thought Olivia would disappear from my life again. Part of me wanted that. Not because I hated her, because I knew seeing her made old feelings appear. But Olivia did not disappear. The next morning, my phone showed her name. I stared at the screen. For months, I wanted that call. Now that it came, I didn't know what to feel. I answered. Hello. Ethan. Hi. I saw your presentation yesterday. Okay. That's all you're going to say? I smiled slightly. What should I say? I don't know. Maybe ask how I felt. I stayed quiet. Ethan, I'm sorry. I just don't know what you want from me. She sighed. I want to talk. About what? About everything. I looked down. Olivia, I don't think that's a good idea. Please. That word used to control my heart. Not anymore. Why now? She became silent. Because I miss you. I closed my eyes. Those words were once everything I wanted to hear. But they arrived too late. I'll meet you once. Really? Yes. Thank you. But I want to be clear. About what? This is not me coming back. Her voice became softer. I understand. A few days later, we met at a small coffee shop. The same kind of place where we used to spend hours talking. But this time, everything felt different. Olivia looked nervous. I had never seen her like that before. You look different, she said. I smiled. I hear that a lot. I mean it. What changed? She looked at me. You stopped trying to prove yourself. I nodded. Maybe because I finally realized I didn't need to. She looked down. I know I hurt you. Yes. Her eyes lifted. I deserve that. I didn't expect those words. For years, I wanted her to admit she was wrong. Now that she did, I felt strangely calm. I made mistakes, Ethan. Yes, you did. I thought I was making the right choice. I looked at her. Choosing Ryan? She nodded slowly. I thought he understood me. And now? She looked away. Now I realize I was wrong. I waited. She continued. I thought you would always be there. I didn't know losing you would hurt this much. For a moment, I felt something inside me move. The old Ethan wanted to reach across the table. The old Ethan wanted to tell her everything was okay. But I remember the nights I spent alone. I remembered sitting at that restaurant with a gift she never received. I remembered feeling like I wasn't enough. So I asked the question I needed to ask. Olivia, do you miss me? Or do you miss the way I loved you? She became completely silent. Her eyes lowered. I knew the question hurt. But some truths hurt because they are necessary. I don't know, she whispered. That's the problem. I do miss you. I believe you. Then why does it feel like you don't care? Because caring doesn't mean forgetting. She looked at me. I know I broke your trust. Yes. Can trust come back? I thought about it. I don't know. The honesty surprised her. You don't know? No. I looked at my hands. Because part of me still remembers everything good about us. Her eyes became emotional. And the other part remembers why I left. She didn't argue. That was the first time I saw her truly understand my pain. Over the next few weeks, I focused on my career. Nathan and I worked harder than ever. One evening, he walked into my office with a smile. You're not going to believe this. I looked up. What happened? We got the contract. I stood up. Are you serious? Yes. I laughed. After months of uncertainty, something finally worked. Nathan shook my hand. You earned this. We earned this. He smiled. That's why you're different now. What do you mean? Before, you needed someone else to tell you that you mattered. I became quiet. And now you know, those words meant more than any success. Meanwhile, I heard that Olivia's relationship with Ryan was falling apart. Daniel mentioned it during dinner. Ryan isn't who Olivia thought he was. I looked at him. What happened? He became different after things became serious. I sighed. People usually show their real selves eventually. Daniel nodded. She finally understands what she lost. I looked at my food. Maybe. You don't sound happy. I'm not. Why? Because her pain doesn't erase mine. Daniel smiled slightly. That's a mature answer. I spent too long wanting her to regret hurting me. And now I just want peace. A few days later, Olivia contacted me again. This time, she sounded different. Ethan, can I ask you something? Sure. Did you ever stop loving me? I stayed quiet. No. She breathed softly. Then why didn't you come back? Because love isn't the only thing needed for a relationship. What else? Respect. She became silent. Trust. Another pause. And choosing each other. Her voice became emotional. I should have chosen you. I looked outside my window. Maybe. No, Ethan. I should have. I didn't know what to say. A part of me wanted to believe her. A part of me wanted the ending I imagined years ago. But life had changed. And so had I. One evening, I met Victor Bennett. I was surprised when he asked to speak with me. I owe you an apology, he said. I looked at him. For what? I underestimated you. I smiled slightly. Many people did. He nodded. I thought success only came from money and connections. And now I see determination matters more. I appreciated his words, but I didn't need his approval anymore. That was the biggest difference. Months ago, I wanted everyone to see my worth. Now I already knew it. Later that night, Olivia and I spoke one final time. I'm happy for you, she said. Thank you. You really moved on. I thought about it. I moved forward. She looked at me. Do you hate me? No. Do you forgive me? I nodded. Yes. Her eyes filled with emotion. Then why can't we try again? I looked at her. Because that was a question I feared. The question I knew would come. I had forgiven her. But forgiveness was not the same as forgetting. It was not the same as reopening an old wound. I wanted to believe people could change. I wanted to believe love could survive anything. But I also knew I could never become the person who begged to be chosen again. Olivia looked at me with tears in her eyes. Ethan, I waited. Is there still a chance for us? After Olivia asked if there's still a chance for us, I didn't answer immediately. I looked at her. The woman I once believed I would spend my entire life with was standing in front of me, waiting for my decision. A year ago, I would have said yes without thinking. I would have forgiven everything. I would have ignored my pain. But I was not that person anymore. Ethan, I looked away. I don't know. Her eyes filled with disappointment. You don't know? No. After everything we had? I nodded slowly. That's exactly why I don't know. She became quiet. I thought love was enough. So did I. Then why isn't it? Because love without trust becomes painful. She looked down. I know I hurt you. Yes. I know I made the wrong choice. Yes. Then why can't we fix it? I took a deep breath. Because fixing something broken requires both people to rebuild it. I'm willing to try. I believe she meant it. That was the hardest part. Olivia wasn't pretending anymore. She was finally honest. But honesty after destruction did not erase the damage. That night, I met Daniel. He immediately noticed something was wrong. She asked you to come back, didn't she? I looked at him. How did you know? Daniel smiled slightly. Because you have that same expression you had when you first met her. What expression? The expression of someone who wants to believe everything will work out. I sighed. I don't know what to do. Daniel sat across from me. Do you still love her? Yes. Do you trust her? I stayed silent. That silence answered him. Daniel nodded. That's the problem. I want to forgive her. Then forgive her. I looked confused. That's simple. Yes. But what about everything she did? Daniel looked at me. Ethan, forgiveness is for your peace, not her reward. I thought about his words. I still feel angry sometimes. That's normal. Sometimes I want her to regret everything. Daniel leaned back. Do you want revenge? I didn't answer. He smiled sadly. Ethan, you don't need to punish her. I looked at him. Why? Because your happiness is already the punishment. Those words stayed in my mind. For so long, I wanted Olivia to feel my pain. I wanted her to understand what she lost. But maybe the best revenge was proving I could live without needing her regret. A few days later, I heard about Ryan. Nathan mentioned it during work. Did you hear about Ryan? I looked up. No. What happened? His company investigation finished. Investigation? Nathan nodded. Some financial problems were discovered. I leaned back. What kind of problems? False reports. Hidden mistakes. He was making himself look better than he really was. I wasn't surprised. People could hide their intentions for a while. But eventually, the truth appeared. Later that week, Olivia called me. Ethan, hi. Did you hear about Ryan? Yes. She became quiet. I feel embarrassed. Why? Because I ignored someone who truly cared about me and trusted someone who only cared about his own image. I didn't know what to say. For the first time, Olivia wasn't comparing us. She was understanding the difference. I'm sorry, she said. I closed my eyes. Olivia. No, please let me say this. I stayed quiet. I hurt you. Yes. I made you feel like you weren't enough. Yes. And you spent years making me feel important while I made you feel invisible. Her voice broke. I'm sorry. For years, I wanted to hear those words. But hearing them now felt different. I didn't feel victory. I felt sadness. Because apologies could arrive too late. Why are you crying? I asked. Because I finally understand. Understand what? What I lost. I looked down. I remembered the old Olivia. The person who made me happy. The person who once made me believe in forever. And for the first time, I didn't only see the person who hurt me. I saw someone who made a terrible choice. I forgive you, Olivia. She became silent. You do? Yes. Then maybe we can start again. I shook my head. Listen to me. Okay. I forgive you, Olivia. But forgiveness does not mean I can become the person who waited for you again. The silence afterward was painful. Ethan, I spent years waiting for you to choose me. I know. I can't go back to being that person. Her voice became softer. You really changed. Yes. Because of me? I thought about it. No. Then because of what? Because I finally learned to choose myself. She started crying. I miss the old you. I looked outside. The old me would have stayed, even when he was hurting. Yes. He loved you. I know. But he didn't love himself. Neither of us spoke for a while. A few days later, I met Sophia. She noticed something immediately. You talked to Olivia again. I smiled. How do you know everything? Because you look peaceful. Is that good? Yes. She sat down. So what happened? She apologized. And I forgave her. Sophia smiled. That sounds like you. But I didn't take her back. She nodded. I'm proud of you. I looked at her. Really? Yes. Why? Because forgiveness is easy when you want someone back. She paused. But forgiving someone while still protecting yourself is much harder. I smiled. You always know what to say. Someone has to remind you. I laughed. Sophia looked at me seriously. Ethan, remember something. What? You deserve a relationship where love is equal. I nodded. I know. Not someone you have to chase. I know. Not someone you have to convince. I know. Her words felt different now. Because I finally believed them. A few days later, Olivia asked to meet one last time. I agreed. When I arrived, she looked different. Not because of her appearance. Because of her expression. I wanted to say goodbye properly, she said. I nodded. Okay. She looked at me. I spent so much time thinking you would always be there. I know. I thought I had unlimited chances. I stayed silent. I was wrong. Yes. She smiled sadly. You don't even argue anymore. I smiled. I don't need to. She looked down. I lost you because I didn't appreciate you when I had you. I didn't deny it. Because it was true. She took a breath. I hope you find happiness. I hope you do too. She nodded. Then she walked away. This time, I didn't chase her. I didn't call her name. I didn't ask her to stay. I simply watched her leave. And for the first time, I understood something. Sometimes the person you love can become someone you have to let go. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally started caring about yourself. Months passed after the day Olivia walked away. For the first time in years, my life felt peaceful. Not perfect, not without challenges, but peaceful. I no longer woke up wondering if someone would choose me. I no longer checked my phone hoping for someone's approval. I finally understood that my value was not something another person could give me. It was something I had to recognize myself. My business continued growing. Nathan and I worked harder every day, and the small idea we once discussed became something real. One evening, Nathan looked at our progress and smiled. Do you remember when you didn't believe in yourself? I laughed. Unfortunately, yes. You've changed a lot. I had to. Do you miss who you used to be? I thought about it. No, not even a little. I shook my head. The old Ethan loved deeply, but he forgot himself. Nathan nodded. And the new Ethan still loves deeply. He just knows he matters too. That was the difference. I didn't become cold. I didn't stop caring. I simply stopped destroying myself for someone else. My relationship with my family became stronger. Daniel noticed it first. You seem different. I smiled. I am. You're not waiting for something anymore. No, What changed? I looked at him. I stopped believing my happiness would begin when someone else chose me. Daniel smiled. Finally. I laughed. Finally. I've been telling you that for years. You have. And you ignored me. I know. A few weeks later, Olivia contacted me. Her message was simple. Can we meet one last time? I looked at the screen. A year ago, that message would have controlled my emotions. Now I just felt calm. I agreed. When I met Olivia, she looked nervous. She smiled slightly. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Olivia. She looked at me for a moment. You really changed. I smiled. I hear that often. No, I mean it. I sat down. What do you want to talk about? She took a breath. I wanted to tell you something. Okay. I still love you. The words were familiar, but they no longer had the power they once had. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel pain. I just felt peace. I believe you. She looked surprised. You do? Yes. Then why don't you look happy? I thought about her question. Because loving someone and being right for each other are different things. She looked down. I wish I understood that earlier. So do I. I spent so much time looking for something better. And I realized I already had something valuable. I stayed quiet. She continued. You always believed in me. Yes. You always supported me. Yes. You always chose me. I nodded. And I didn't choose you. I looked at her. That hurt. I know. No, Olivia. You know now. Her eyes became emotional. But you knew then. She accepted my words. You're right. For a moment, I remembered everything. Our first meeting. Our first conversation. The dreams we shared. The promises we made. But I also remembered the pain. The loneliness. The moment I realized I was fighting alone. Olivia looked at me. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if I had chosen you? I smiled sadly. Sometimes. What do you think? I think we might have been happy. Then why? Because sometimes love is real, but timing and choices destroy it. She nodded. I'm sorry. I know. Do you forgive me? Yes. She looked at me carefully. Really? Yes. Then why can't we try again? I took a deep breath. Because I knew this answer mattered. Because forgiveness does not mean going back. She looked hurt. I understand. I continued. I spent so much time trying to make you see my value. She looked at me. But I finally saw it myself. I smiled. The day I stopped chasing you was the day I found myself. And that was the day you finally saw me. Her eyes filled with tears. I wish I could change the past. I do too. Would you do anything differently? I thought about it. Yes. What? I would have chosen myself sooner. The silence between us felt peaceful. Not painful. Not angry. Just honest. We stood up. I'm happy for you, Ethan. Thank you. I mean it. I know. She smiled sadly. I hope someone loves you the way you deserve. I nodded. I hope someone loves you the way you deserve too. We said goodbye. This time, I didn't feel like something was being taken from me. I felt grateful for what I learned. After that day, I continued building my life. My career grew. My confidence grew. My relationships became healthier. Sophia remained someone important in my life. She never tried to replace Olivia. She never pushed me into anything. She simply stayed beside me. One evening, we sat together drinking coffee. You seem happy, Sophia said. I am. Really happy? I smiled. Yes. She looked at me. What changed? I thought for a moment. I stopped looking for someone to complete me. Sophia smiled. That's a good answer. I spent years thinking love meant losing myself for someone. And now I think love should bring peace. She nodded. Not pain. Exactly. I looked at my life. The person I became. The person I almost lost. I realized my biggest victory wasn't proving Olivia wrong. It wasn't becoming successful. It wasn't making anyone regret leaving me. My biggest victory was finally becoming someone I respected. Someone I was proud of. Someone who didn't need permission to feel worthy. I spent years trying to convince someone to choose me. The moment I chose myself, everything changed.